All right, we got a couple players here today. Ethan Dean and Myatt from the U16 AAA London Junior Knights. Mason here, their coach, assistant coach for that team with Danny Severette. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You know what? It was great to have you guys on here. I know you guys have busy schedules. Everything's pretty busy right now because we're heading into playoffs soon. I just want to ask you guys some questions about your hockey this time around, and just kind of expose a little bit about how you guys grew up playing hockey, some of the guys that you played with, and then Mason's going to probably run a lot today with the show because he's got you guys going there every day on a daily basis playing hockey. So May's going to start out. You want to just kind of talk a little bit about. We'll start with Ethan first. What kind of player is he?
Well, I rely on Ethan quite a bit out there. He's a top 2A player in the league and one of the fastest players I've seen play hockey. So I can use him on PK, power play, 5-on-5, and there's no issue there. And he's scoring quite a bit of goals now. So
you're getting into the groove there now. The team actually, I've been noticing, has really been putting the puck in the back of the net. Yeah. And it looks like that Detroit tournament really kind of helped you guys, I think, start. You guys were scoring more than you were last year.
Yeah.
Oh, way more.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was terrible.
We're getting many goals there. And what about Josh there? What kind of player is Josher?
Josher's also one of my top 2A guys, and Josh, you probably know you get a lot of ice time because you are good in every situation, and you're good on the draws too. Your percentage is pretty high this year. I think it's above 67 and 70%.
That's good.
It's pretty. Yeah, you got a pretty good draw rate, and you're just good at finding guys, and you always do the right thing, which is really important. Yeah. And once again, you're scoring now too, and everyone's contributing, and I think the team's gonna end up being really, really good. OHL Cup time.
How did you guys do last year? In major bantam, how did the team end up? Or what round did you guys? They're laughing at for some reason.
So we got a second round.
Yeah,
we got a bye first round. Then we got it to.
So you guys ended in first, right?
No, we're second.
Second.
First two get byes. Mm-hmm. We got first round bye. Then second round we played Chatham, Kent. I'm pretty sure it was a 3-1 series.
So same team as we're playing pretty well this year. That team last year, what happened? Just kind of didn't take them, maybe took them a little lightly, you think, or what was the issue?
Yeah, I think it was kind of our game plan a little bit. We just we weren't adjusting to how they played. We just kept doing the same thing, and it wasn't working. Mm-hmm. And then we just got shut down.
Yeah, we couldn't defend against a dump and chase. Just didn't adjust at all. So they just dump it, hit us. And then we just get stuck in our zone. They'd go down and score.
Right. Yeah, you guys didn't have any defensive structure. You guys, no one taught you guys the importance of how defense.
Do
works.
They still play that style, Chatham?
They do.
Yeah, they just dump in. Yeah,
we're giving a lot more freedom now. So if we just need to get it out, just ice it. And reset. If we iced it last year, you would go in trouble.
Yeah, last year it was one way to do it, and then if you didn't do it that way, it's wrong.
Well, I think with Danny and Mason, and Danny having obviously NHL experience, and Mason playing high level hockey, that helps out a lot. And you got to trust your players, right?
Yeah.
Where, like you said, he kind of lets you guys do your thing, but if there's trouble, get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's not even rocket science, especially now moving forward. I think that's where teams start to kind of not keep losing and don't really get into those streaks like you guys are getting into right now, is they try to hold on to the puck, or they don't know the situation of hockey. Maybe they're not being taught as well, and they just they end up failing down the road. But there's no way you guys should have lost to Chatham last year.
We should never.
No, it was bad.
When I first saw the roster, and I don't know a lot of the players, but we were sitting down and kind of going over the players. Matora, you guys remember Matora? He played with you guys.
Yeah.
So we pulled him aside, and we were just kind of going. We're kind of matching players for players from Canucks and a couple other teams, and he's like, this team actually is really, really good. If they learn how to play hockey properly, that by Christmas time, January, not that you guys didn't know how to play hockey. I think you were just pigeonholed into one system.
That's what's kind of weird though. By Christmas time in January, we were one of the best teams. Pretty sure we were top 10 in Ontario.
We were winning.
We were
game.
Really good. And then we just slowed down.
Big time. Yeah. And I think also the training that guys do during the year too. Like, you have to have some structure. You can't overtrain guys too much, and you have to know that fine line. So I think if you combine like the hockey knowledge, proper training, and you got a bunch of guys that want to win and be serious, then I think the formula for success it works, right? So what kind of style and system does the team play? Like our team play, like the London Junior Knights.
You guys want to go?
I don't know, we're pretty creative with things, like just, like make it up on the fly, but like we have like a couple like breakouts, couple like entries, like the middle drive and stuff. But yeah, like we pretty much just adjust to what other teams do. Like
we have like a basic structure, but we're able to work around that as like be creative.
So you can use your own skill with the structure, right?
Yeah, like today, for example, like in practice, Dana will be like, "Oh, we're playing this team, so we're gonna like change this a little bit."
Yeah. Different forechecks, different Oh, your own end obviously will change a little bit depending on who you're playing against. But you guys have picked everything up pretty good.
Quick.
You guys right now, like watching you guys out there, like you guys look like mini pros.
Yeah,
like the way you guys are playing, like the way you're carrying yourselves and stuff on the ice, like it looks good.
Yeah. So. And who are the other top couple teams right now? Let's say top three right now. You guys are. There's a few games in hand, I think, right now.
Yeah, we have two in hand for Elgin, and so it's Elgin, us, and Cambridge. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And if you guys can win the next couple games, then you guys will be ahead in first place.
Pretty sure right now we're tied for first with.
We'll end up being
2 games in hand.
Yeah. How many games are left, boys? Right now, I know it can't be
7 or 8.
Yeah, it's the 8.
And so will it be the same structure? Like there'll be a bye for whoever's first, second.
No, because I'm pretty sure it's OHL Cup. So all the teams that win the first round just go to the OHL Cup
right away. So because I keep forgetting this every time. So you guys will play the first round. Play all the way to the semifinal and then go OHL Cup?
OHL Cup's going to be after playoffs this year. Playoffs were after OHL Cup last year. We came back.
Like all of the playoffs?
Round 7.
Round 7, okay.
The last round was after OHL Cup. It's going to be played right through and then OHL Cup.
Oh, okay.
So what do you guys play? Best of 5 or 3? Does it go best of 3, best of 5, best of 7?
First one to win 3 games, pretty much every series.
Isn't the final like to 4?
To 4, it might be 4.
Right. Yeah. So it changed a little bit. I know London made it to the finals last year. Did pretty good in the OHL Cup. They actually lost to the Junior Canadians. Yeah. I was watching that game, and they had the lead, and it was going back and forth. Had a few controversial referee calls that I thought were in favor for Toronto. It was pretty bad, I thought, but whatever. But then they got back and. Waterloo had Brady Martin and some big slingers up there too. They had a good team,
really good,
and they pounded you guys like in that last game, which is
took them too lightly.
Yeah, exactly right. But sometimes you fall. You see it happens in the NHL too. Guys just they don't think that they're going to lose a game to a team, and next thing you know, they're on the score not on the score sheet at the end of the game, right? So, but I know Danny is very happy with the way things are rolling. But I kind of want to ask you guys a little bit. You guys known each other for quite a while. Have you both played AAA growing up, like from the beginning, or did you ever play AA, single A, and then get into it? Or?
No, straight away. Yeah, we've both been AAA.
Straight away from the beginning. Yeah, and so you guys started from like minor Pee-wee or
like minor Adam,
minor Adam
up to now.
Yeah, who's your minor Adam coach?
Adam Casey.
Adam Casey is
favorite coach.
He's a great guy. Yeah, great guy. Yeah. And then what about minor major Pee-wee?
That was kind of like COVID, so I'm pretty sure it was like Marcel.
Oh yeah. Dave Marcel.
Dave Marcel.
We had that for like a year.
I didn't like those years.
When you guys when it was COVID, I know the older guys, I think they were playing the same team all the time.
Oh yeah, we were playing. So we first played younger, so we played the younger kids, like AAA. We won most of those games.
Like the younger, the age group
lost.
One time we tied them or lost. That was pretty bad. Yes. And then we ended up playing Canucks. Play them multiple times.
It was our team would get split in half, so it'd be like half a team.
Really? So they were good.
I'm pretty sure we lost.
Same guys, Parker Vaughn.
All those guys.
Beckham Edwards.
I'm pretty sure we only won 1 game, and it was against their best players somehow.
100%.
Yeah. So.
And I know them not having Beckham is obviously a big loss for them for sure this year, because he's probably a couple points a game, so that could change the structure. But hey, sometimes it plays to everybody else's advantage when that happens, right?
So,
Diener, you played played running junior nights all the way growing up, both of you guys?
Yeah.
No flip-flops, no over to Canucks, back over. It's been one team.
Yeah, same team.
Yeah. And what do you think who do you model your game after? Like, if I was to give you an NHL player, who do you try to play like?
Mine's like an old Pavel Bure.
Pavel Bure.
Like, I've never watched him, but I just watched his highlights. Really fast,
very
skillful, just a really high intense game.
Incredible player.
Yeah, just a really fun
it's a
play.
pretty good one.
Yeah, it is a good assessment there on that.
Yeah, it is a pretty good one. Yeah.
What about you, Myatt?
Well, I like Sidney Crosby. He's my favorite player, but probably like Patrice Bergeron.
Yeah, so a smarter game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you try to be well-rounded all the way around, right? Yeah. Pavel Bure was explosive, man. Like, he was a rocket ship. I think they called him the Rocket, the Russian Rocket, right? Yeah. So do you guys remember players like Alexander McGillney? Did you follow some of the old hockey at all, or no?
I just kind of watched the NHL Top 100 list one time.
Yeah. And, you saw him, and you're like, oh, that's kind of like how
I kept
play.
watching it, so then that's where I kind of found it.
Yeah.
I've never heard of.
I think Diener's more into it than me, because I remember you had some hockey cards and stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't know who those guys are.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. You ask guys your age about, you'll say, I mean, obviously everybody knows Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux. You say some of the bigger names, but then you say someone like Pavel Bure. When I was in Russia, he was the first guy that they brought over. He defected from Russia. And it was...
wasn't it him and Fedorov?
Yeah, I think he was the first one, but they stole him out of Russia. They took him out of Khabarovsk, Russia, where I was working out of. And they went in, they got him ready, got him on a plane. And, I mean, if they would have caught him, there would have been big trouble back then. And then there was obviously some issues with, them kind of running into him down the road, so they were scared for his life. But when he got back to Khabarovsk, Russia, later on after he was done his NHL career, he had a restaurant right across the street from the rink. And it was a beautiful place. It was called I think it was called Olympic Hotel, and that's where I would stay. And he had a beautiful restaurant in there, and I got to meet him. He was my hero playing hockey when he grew up, because he was could score goals. He was really good with the puck, fast, smart guy. But the Russians over there, the system, the training, the style of hockey is quite a bit different than what we have going on here. It's a lot more push, shove, lead by the iron fist. And where you guys, I think over here, we still have some coaches like that, but I think it's kind of opened up a bit more now with the way things have changed. You guys know social media's in. I mean, there's a lot of things that have changed with young hockey guys. That yelling and screaming doesn't really go far away with players anymore. I don't think so. So I'm sure you guys have run into coaches that do it.
Unless it's in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way.
I'm yelling.
Basically, yeah. But
I'm not yelling to put you down. I'm just reminding you what to do and get in the right position.
I think a little bit of that is good. But
you gotta have a look at where Danny's very quiet.
He
doesn't say anything. Jason Williams, very quiet, says nothing. Right. So, but I think you gotta have that mix of the kind of the good cop, bad cop kind of thing. I know Mark and Dale Hunter, same way. Dale, you never see him lose his cool. If he does, it's not good, but it's not very often. Where Mark is more the aggressor, and he'll be if he had a problem with you and you were a player for him, he'd come down and he'll let you know, no problem, how you played or how you did. But I think, listen, when you get to the next level, you have to be able to take some of that, because the intensity goes up. There's money on the line. There's, it's not like here, you guys are playing for fun. Nobody's getting paid here. Right? You're actually paying to play hockey. But when you get to the OHL, there's going to be, the Tortorella type guy, and there'll be the other guy who's kind of laid back. I think it's just how you respond. Mace, to it? You probably had some coaches that were tough on you, I'm sure, over the past years.
Yeah. I know how to.
What was it like in Sweden?
I can not good.
No, were they hard on you?
You can't understand anything.
No,
it's just.
It's actually really weird.
For an import, it's not fun at all.
No. It can be really stressful actually, because they put a lot of pressure on the imports. Yeah. They pay the imports more money than they do the regular players, and then you get into a situation where I remember us watching film, and we have the Russian guy that was on, he was like a superstar, but he was old and he shouldn't even have been there. But they have a lot of respect for those guys, so there was plays where they would blow right by him and score, and we're watching the video as a team, and then the other guy who was the import would get beaten, and they would just unload on that guy right in front of everybody.
Do they understand though?
No.
Right? Well, they talk like half Russian, half English, right? So you're kind of like going, you know what they're kind of saying, but they're like, you're going, what about that guy? Nobody's even saying anything about him, right? So, but a lot of pressure, because if you don't play well at Christmas time, they can just say you're out. And the Russian hockey league is like the second best league in the world behind the NHL, but it's just a lot more intense, right? And they pay very well. But so you guys moving in, Diener, tell us a little bit about like you shoot right, left, right-hand shooter.
So I'm a left-hand shooter.
You're a lefty, yeah. You think you're a lefty? You think you ever could have been a righty?
I only picked the left-hand stick because it was like looked cooler than the right-handed. So I was right-handed at first.
Did you ever try shooting? Oh, you were.
Yeah, I was, but the left-hand stick looked cooler.
And you switched over.
Yeah, well, I mean, because like it was just the beginning. My dad was like, "What stick feels more comfortable?"
And you thought
so I just like pick the coolest looking.
Same thing, Josh. Yeah.
Well, yeah, my dad and brother are both lefty, so they just gave me a left-handed stick to start with.
Yeah, you always wonder about that because I gave him a righty.
Yeah.
And but our nephew Alex, who didn't play high level hockey, I remember him switching the sticks in and out, and he couldn't figure out.
He should have been a righty.
Should have been a righty.
He ended up being a lefty. Yeah. That's why he could never.
Can you guys ever try shooting the other way at this age?
I'm actually pretty decent.
We tried it the other
night
at practice. No, I'm terrible. Like
Same with me. I trying to throw the football.
I'm pretty good with it. I can take a full on, like I can snipe with a left stick.
Yeah. I'm absolutely awful at throwing the ball with my opposite hand. Yeah. Like boxed, I took martial arts when I was younger, so striking I can do pretty well. I'm still a little bit more dumb with the right, but shooting or throwing, completely different animal.
Yeah.
But I would think that if you practice that over and over and over again, it's going to become easier, right?
It's like us with ping pong. Like one summer you just like played ping pong with our left hands. Yeah, near the end we were.
You get better at it.
We were beating Carter with our left hands.
Makes you get mad at each
other. It is sexy though.
So, what about you, Josh? Do you work on any of your skills like outside of the gym? Like, do you go to like your basement shooting pucks and working on things like that?
Yeah, I got like a net outside with a shooting board. And
so it's all done outside.
Yeah, I have it outside. I used to have it in the basement, and then we got like a gym, kind of a gym down there.
Right, so you had furnished it up, and then you guys had to move out to the outdoors.
Yeah, so Diener and I have had some horse games out there.
Do you guys go shoot together? And stuff?
We'd go crazy.
So how many times a week would you guys shoot and practice your hands in that?
Like depends like what time it is.
Yeah.
So like during the summer, I was probably doing it like every other day.
Yeah.
Like now, I'm just like. Can't really shoot because we have so many cars in the driveway now. So it's like, I just kind of like stick out,
right? You?
Yeah, I do a little stick handling, but like mostly in the summertime, like off season is where I shoot the most.
You guys are on the ice so much that like you won't lose any hands.
Do you guys do a little bit of extra skating anywhere? Like, do you guys go to like any of the guys in town to kind of like during the season, or do you leave it? Do you just do that in the summertime a little bit?
It's mostly just.
Just your own game, right? Your own game. You work out, you play for this team, and that's it.
Yeah, I'll book the hockey studio sometimes.
Yeah,
those are fun.
Just to kind of fool around in there. How is that? Is that pretty good over there or what?
Yeah, it's like small, but it's good just to work on some skills.
Like
work on your
tight
shot
area skills and stuff like that?
Yeah. It's way more tiring than big ice somehow.
Jeez, Mason going, you guys got it easy. How often did I make you shoot pucks?
I'd shoot like 500 a night.
You would shoot them on the days
like, I'd shoot like 500 orange pucks a night. Like,
oh wow,
yeah, it was a lot.
My shot's not even close to what it used to be. Like when I'm out there with you guys, I'm using a shitty stick too. But like my shot was like I would just like not even follow through. I would just go a little snap and it just.
Yeah, you had a fast shot. Yeah. What are you guys using for flex on the stick there, Josh?
75, I think.
Did you just move up to that, or you've had that for like a year?
I just moved up like recently. I was at a 70, and I just. They only had 75, so I just had to.
Do you like it a lot better than? And then you cut it, obviously, right? So the flex is a little bit stiffer. Yeah. What, like 80 maybe?
Yeah, probably something around there. Yeah.
Notice a bit. What made you change? Were you breaking sticks or?
Yeah, I broke one, and then I had to get a new one. They didn't have any 70s, so my dad just was like,
the next one off the shelf.
75. Yeah.
And you like it? What are you using? Bauer CCM?
CCM, the jet speed.
Yeah. What about you, Diener?
I'm using I like 70 flex because I like more of the whip, but like I have to go to like 77.
So it was two whippies. Did you change it?
Oh no, it wasn't two. It just they didn't have it.
They didn't have it. So
they didn't have
grab the other one.
So.
Do you like it better?
I've only had one game with it, so it was like It was alright. I scored, but it just didn't.
Did it feel any different catching and receiving?
Way more.
It did.
Yeah, because like I went from the FT6 to the Hyperlite.
So that's a big change.
Yeah,
big change.
It felt really weird.
Like, I don't think some people even know how much of a change. Like, he was so finicky. I don't know if you guys were, but with your sticks and little things. But I think a lot of the skilled guys are. But he was like, if he didn't get a certain stick, he was not happy, right? And if it didn't, like they lose their whip, even though expensive ones. After you shoot a bunch of pucks, you're going, there's no more. And I'd be sitting there going, we just got this thing like 2 weeks ago, man. Like, what are you talking about? And he'd be like, Dad, but he'd shoot a lot of pucks, right? So I'm sure that was just...
It loses its pop.
It loses its pop. You guys feel that too when it does?
Yeah, and like I got a new stick for the tournament in Detroit, and like a skate blade went right through my backhand, and now there's like a big big gash in there.
So what do you guys have? 2 stick? You carry an extra spare?
Yeah, no, I usually just have like 2 sticks, but with straight one when mine break, I have to get another one.
Yeah.
So
and they're, what are they now? Like $450?
Yeah, they're like $400.
Very expensive.
If you want to get the top end, it's $400.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember when 200 was expensive when I was growing up. Like it was like
250.
A stick was $199 when I was in like Pee Wee, something like that, and that was like the top. That was like the CCM tax. It was like $200, and or like the Easton RS. Like the stealth stick.
You guys probably weren't around for that.
No, you guys remember
those?
Yeah.
That was the lightest stick I've ever had in my hand.
You guys ever try shooting with a wooden stick? Just for fun?
Yeah, I used to do that just like to practice.
What did it come off like?
Sucks.
It's terrible.
I don't understand how they could have good shots.
It's amazing that like Al McInnes and those guys would rip 100-mile-an-hour.
Yeah, he was doing that with like a wooden stick 102. Imagine what you do like now.
Yeah, that's insane, man. That those guys, but that just shows you how
they had nothing else to use. Though.
I think if you had nothing else to use,
that was like the All-Star competition. 102 was the hardest shot.
He was like, he came like a couple of years ago. Did it got like 10 something?
It's nuts, man.
And he's like really like. It's been a couple years since he retired.
You got your history down a little bit. Yeah, you guys know a few guys there. But you're right. I mean, and then they went to I don't know what it was called. It was like a 2-piece, and they used to glue you guys never used that.
It went from wood to a wood shaft and a composite blade, and then it went
2-piece? Composite? Yeah, I know Thornton that used to have the 2-piece and stuff like that.
Then they had like wood with fiberglass over top of it. Like it was like a wood stick, but it felt like a composite stick. That I remember. I still have one of those.
You talk to the old school boys, and they just said that they try to shoot with what you guys are shooting with, and they're like, I just don't like the feel of it. I can't.
It's too light.
Feel the puck.
They think it's too light.
You guys like it. The lighter, the better.
Oh,
almost.
It kind of depends who you are, though.
Yeah. Do you like it? Is your stick like? Are they light? The ones you guys are using?
Yes.
Yeah. No, mine are usually pretty light. But like, if it's too light, you just feel the puck way too much. It's like really weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Right?
I like the blade to be a little bit heavier, not like too light. Like the whole stick just feels like I want a little bit of feel.
Yeah, for sure. So do you guys, Diener, I know you're a really fast skater. I've watched you play. Did you take power skating and were you into that when you were younger? Is this something natural, kind of like it just kind of came to you?
I mean, I did some kind of like power skating, but like it really didn't do anything.
Really?
It's like when you're just like
naturally
really
fast.
He's always been fast, pretty much. Yeah.
So your edges and stuff like that. Who did you do was it like Larry Gazdick and that you did the power skating with, or was it like?
Oh, I have no clue. It was a really long time. It was like
just like we're going here, and you just go okay.
Yeah, it was like one of those like huge groups where all 3 zones were being used, and at least 20 kids on each zone.
I had another guy, Jack Greenwell, plays for Windsor. He trains with us there, and he's the same way. He never does it. Like, he doesn't even skate in the summertime. And he just hops on the ice, and he just flies. And he's so smooth. He's got that perfect stride. It's almost like he's on top of the ice when he's skating. And I haven't seen a lot of games. I've watched a few. But is that how he kind of skates, on top of the ice, Mace?
Yeah.
Because you used to dig down, right? You were like powerful.
You're like, and you also have I think your legs are longer than your upper body a little bit. So it helps like in there's the leg shape. You can cross over really long underneath. Like I think you can build up speed pretty quick.
Yeah. That when you bring the foot into the middle, like a lot of guys don't get it all the way in. That makes a big difference. That little move.
Ethan's got good like knee bend too.
Yeah. What about you, Joshua? Were you doing any power skating like growing up at all?
Yeah,
with
I did that Gazdick.
I
didn't like it.
No, I hated that stuff.
They would yell at you and
levels,
stuff.
right?
They make you go back and do it again and again and again. Couldn't stand
that. Like I bend over a little bit when I'm skating, so I've just been trying to fix that. I do like Paul McLean and stuff.
Like bend on your balls of your feet. They want you to kind of be more lateral.
Bend my back over and stuff, and they just want me to be like have my chest up
a little bit.
Are you guys rockering your blades? Like you guys profile them and stuff like that?
Yeah, let's go to Herms and just like ask for profile. I don't really know what they do though.
You don't know? You didn't tell them to tilt it any way. You just said profile it.
They do it based on your like height and weight. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So, and what kind of hollow do you know? What kind of hollow you put in your blade too? Like how sharp it is? 9/16, 5/8. And
I got half an inch.
Half an inch.
Yeah.
So that deep, Mace? That's deep, right?
Pretty sure
that's pretty sharp. Yeah.
That's sharp.
That's sharp.
Yeah. What are you?
I got 5/8.
5/8. Yeah. Most of the NHL guys will go 5/8 because they're on the ice so much.
Well, the NHL rinks are warmer.
They're warmer.
The ice is softer to begin with. Same with like OHL. So like 5/8 you wouldn't cut into. If you have a half inch on really soft ice, like you might have to.
Well, you've probably played with soft
in the starting rink, it's like
tough.
really weird.
It's hard to skate. Like you feel more tired because you're just sinking right into the ice, right?
And there's a really good chance of like I know working in the NHL, a lot of guys would have groin issues because they're on the ice 6 days a week, and some guys they'd come. The Russians probably the most that I had seen. They come over and they had no clue what they were sharpening skates at.
Yeah, their metric system's different. So like if you go over to Europe and they it's like 36/42. Like it's almost like jean sizes. It's completely different numbers.
Really different. So you don't even know. Yeah.
I had to I had to look it up on my phone and like convert it for them. It was
and then you go into the room and there's guys sharpening their own skates.
Yeah.
Did Jamie get I know the guy that owns the Canadian Tire in town here.
Line?
Does he bring that skate sharpener? Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So you guys don't ever have to worry about having a bad blade. Then if something happens, he's got it there.
Yeah, he's there most games.
He's there most games,
nice to have.
It's great having an NHL guy on the bench. I think it's like, he treats you guys like pros.
Yeah.
I know I was talking to somebody they were like, oh, we don't do like a team warm up. I'm like, team warm ups usually are for the younger guys, where you're in the lines and you're doing this and that. Yeah. I don't really have I'm not opposed to it a lot. Even in the pros, there's some guys that'll say to the fitness coach, they'll say, hey, you know what, we want to do what you're doing, and then they'll do that. But there's other guys who have their own thing, and I never mess around with anybody's warm up. If you had a way you wanted to warm up, I wouldn't want him mad at me after going, oh, we did this and I got my legs tired and play well, because I've had guys say that to me. I remember my first day in the NHL. Mike Milbury was our general manager, and he was like, I want team warm-ups. And I'm going, team warm-ups? I had just come from the London Knights with Dale and Mark, where we weren't doing that either. We were doing our own thing. I'm like, wasn't going to argue with him. It was my first shift, but he was like, I want everybody to do team warm-ups, so get them set up. And I did team warm-up, and we lost that game. And Rick DiPietro was the goaltender, and as soon as I got on the plane, he's just like, warm-up sucks, like this. They're yelling at the back of the bus. I'm like, oh my God, right? So I had to go back and talk to Milbury and go, Mike, just trust me, they don't need to do a warm-up. These guys are NHL guys. They've been playing hockey since they've been little kids, right? What do you guys like doing? Do you care, or do you have your own little thing that you do when you warm up?
I just kind of go with the flow, to be honest.
Yeah?
I just play
sewer. Do whatever, right?
Sewer. We play sewer.
So you start with sewer.
Yeah.
And then do you guys go into your own little thing? What's your routine? Do you have are you superstitious, or do you just kind of do whatever?
I'm not superstitious.
Yeah, no.
I try not to be, so I don't get in my own head during the games.
Yeah.
So just kind of just stay out of it, just have fun.
Not so, like Perry, Mace?
No.
Perry taps the door on the way into the gym. He's got all these things.
Really? Yeah, I don't because if you miss one of those, you're just gonna blame your whole thing on that.
Yeah,
it's your head's just totally.
That's how I used to.
Yeah, just play sewer, and then once you get out, just do some stretching.
Yeah, do your thing. Right?
Get back in.
That's how 90% of people do.
Yeah, Mason didn't really like warming up too much. He just kind of doing his thing on the ice.
I would play sewer, and that's it.
I think Diener and I are one of the last ones to.
I'm always on sewer. I always get targeted.
Yeah.
So.
No, but to warm up, we're always there.
Oh yeah, me, you, and Frost.
Yeah.
Jenny.
Yeah. I think everybody's got their thing. I mean, hockey's a different animal. I've trained guys in different sports, and football's so team oriented, where everybody's in the lines. It's like the military, and you played, right? Mm-hmm. Did you play, Diener? You play football? No. Where hockey's I think it's just a completely different game. Mace, it's for example, lifting. You can't turn into this big, strong monster because you won't move. You got to be loose and limber and be able to move around on the ice, right? So, I'll see guys that kind of work out. They're just pounding the weights heavy, and I'm going, guys, you don't need to do that. right? I mean, you have some guys like Kucherov who doesn't even spend a lot of time in the weight room. He skates more than everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
And I asked Perry, I go, what does Kucherov do? Does he work hard? He's like, he barely even works out. Like, he works out 2 times a week, and he's, obviously the guy's a machine.
Yeah.
Not everywhere you go look at Connor McDavid, he works out all the time.
Yeah.
He does everything. He skates a lot, he works out a lot. So, at the end of the day, I think it's what you're comfortable with. And, I know some players don't like over-tiring themselves out for the game. Mm-hmm. Is that what you felt like, Mace? Like, that if you did too much,
I would want to have as much energy, like, in my legs. Like, I would not want one single, like, I wouldn't go up and down, A skips, B skips, like 4 sets. Like, I wouldn't do that before a game. Like, just like playing sewer itself, like, just get your blood moving, and that's really all you need. But if you're someone who wants to be more prepared, then like Frosty, he's a psychopath. He's just like boom, 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 this thing, like regimen.
Yeah, he's never just like sitting around.
Yeah.
He's always doing something.
He would be a good Navy SEAL.
Yeah,
he would be like on it.
He's very determined guy, and I mean, there's a guy who didn't play very much high level hockey at all growing up. I think he just jumped into it. Like,
I'm pretty sure he went from first year he was like MD, then he went to Mustangs, then up to our team.
Like, when did you guys start playing with Frosty?
Was it a second or third year?
Might have been when Beckham left. It's like that's when our whole team just changed.
Yeah.
So Beckham was there like major Pee Wee and then left.
So he left the year he left.
Third year or something. Fourth year.
So it might have been like Pee Wee's. He was there.
Yeah.
Like, that's where Frosty
was Beckham good then too.
Oh, he's been good since West London days.
Yeah, so good.
He's pretty good player, man. How's he doing in Little Caesars? Do you guys know? Do you follow that at all? Like, is he doing good?
All I know is that he played the Team Canada.
Yeah. He must be doing pretty good.
Yeah. So he obviously
they got beat up pretty bad over there. I don't think they won. They didn't win one game.
No, they won. So the first 2 games was like against South Korea and like Finland. Destroyed them.
Then so they beat them.
Yeah, and then they played U.S. semifinals, lost in like shootout 6-5. Then they
that's close.
And then in the bronze game, they lost to Finland in shootout.
What was the score there?
I'm not sure.
I heard they had a little like goaltending trouble because like
that's why it was like Canada.
Yeah, it was 45 to like 13 in shots against the U.S. and they ended up and they still lost.
Yeah, I don't know who told us that they didn't even win a game, and I'm going, I don't think so. They wouldn't have lost to
that team is crazy.
It's good.
The kids on that team are just like
so good.
Yeah.
Like how did they pick guys for that? Like, what did they do? Like, was there a process?
There wasn't even a tryout.
It's brand new this year.
Did you even know that was going to happen?
Oh, I had no clue. I saw like posts about like Youth Olympics. I was like, huh?
It's brand new.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm surprised like some other guys like Parker Vaughn or like even yourself, like they didn't even like.
It's like the whole Canada though, so it kind of like shows how good.
Yeah, I think they should have done like a tryout.
Yeah,
like they invite some of the best
100 guys or 115 people
and have a big tryout and just pick from that. But
honestly, it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Listen, at the end of the day, as you move forward in hockey, even if you haven't been drafted or whatever, there's guys. Well, look at Ryan McAllister, who comes and trains with us there. He was playing AA hockey, and then all of a sudden he went to AAA, went to play Junior B in Kamoka, did just okay, but somebody saw something in him, right? They were like, this guy's got the skill and the tools. And then all of a sudden he's in Brooks Bandits in the AJ, or is it the BCHL? AJ, and he's like ripping it up. He scored 160 points.
200 points in 2 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then, 160 points in one season.
Yeah, I'm saying 200 in 2 years.
Went to Michigan, Eastern Michigan, ends up like first year, Western Michigan. Yeah. Western Michigan leads the whole league in scoring, and then I think he ended up
until the playoffs, and then he was a rookie, so he led the whole thing.
That's crazy.
There's a guy who didn't, and you've been up to skate with the Nats, where McAllister's dad is the coach, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. Yeah. But you did good there, actually. You got a couple points your first game. One or two.
I played 3 games with them. I have 2 assists.
Good for you. So how was that, Dina? Was it tough or is it easier?
I think it might honestly been because like they're a lot slower, but it's a lot more physical. So it's like kind of like pros and cons. It was a lot easier to like use my speed and go around people.
Did they give you quite a bit of ice in that?
My first game was against like the first place LaSalle.
Yeah.
I didn't get that much ice time. The second game though, I was like, the last 2 games I've been like third line.
Third line, so that's good. So you're getting about 12 minutes a game. That was good.
Yeah, but straight with Nats get a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
So when it's
they get a lot of penalties.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm usually just on the bench, just waiting to.
I know it sucks a little bit. You're sitting there. You're nothing worse than your feet getting cold. You're just sitting there. Going,
when you're just standing up, it's worse than actually playing because your legs just get tired from doing nothing.
Imagine that, being in the NHL, you're a fourth line guy and you're getting whatever 3 or 4 minutes a game, and you're just
it's impossible.
You still have to be able to produce though. Yeah, you still have to be able to produce. We had a guy, Zach McEwen, that I trained, plays for Ottawa now. He's a tough guy. He played for Philly there. He just got traded. And there was a guy, he never got drafted either. He didn't get drafted to the Q. He didn't get drafted to the NHL, but he's been there now 7 or 8 years. And he was a really skilled guy. But they just said, listen, if you want to stick around and play, you got to do the things that may be out of your element, which means a little bit of fighting or enforcing a little bit. And he's done it and he's stayed there.
If you have a chance to play in the NHL,
you're going to do whatever you're going to do. You would do it?
Yeah.
You would do it?
Yeah.
Exactly what Mark Hunter want to hear. Right. So you guys, I know it's kind of a time of the year where the scouts are out a lot more now. They're starting to probably watch more and more. How do you guys adapt to that? Do you just kind of block it out? You don't even... I think you should do that. Yeah. But I know some guys, Mace, especially remember when we were younger, you were like, oh, this guy was at the game. You were kind of one of those guys. He's here. You acknowledge it.
It get me excited. I want people watching.
Yeah.
The more people are watching, the more fun the game is.
Diener, you just try to block it out or what?
Oh no, I look to see who's there.
You try to look too.
I love to see
it gets me excited when guys are watching, but I kind of just don't think about it. To be honest, just play the same way.
You know what? Everything pumps guys up a different way and stuff like that too. I used to like it when my girlfriend would come watch me play football. I would play better, right? Because my parents wouldn't. They were old school and they never used to come watch me play. So when she was up there, I just felt more charged up.
Yeah.
And obviously, the more people in the stands, you feel like you got a little more excitement going on too. What, you guys played in front of a big crowd at all before? Ever? Anything?
Golden Puck. We
Yeah.
played each other. In
Golden Puck. A lot of kids there watching.
Just Tuesday, so my school versus his school,
the rink that we play on now, it was every stand.
The Nats,
was full.
The Nats one, the Western
sold out.
Yeah.
Wow, did you go watch that, man?
No, but I saw pictures and videos. It was
did you guys win it?
Oh, we lost.
Yeah, we won.
Our team
you guys
we were the big underdogs too.
Yeah,
so it was really exciting.
So you would have had Hazelwood there last year and Ducharme. Wojcik. Yeah.
But they wouldn't have played, right?
No, they did play.
Oh,
they
did. They played for half the season, and they were a big help in Golden Puck. They scored a goal each or something.
Yeah. I don't know. They just kind of slipped out and did it last year. I know they weren't supposed to really do it. Obviously, nobody can force you to do that. I think it's just more of a respect thing, right?
The guys all at school give you a hard time about it all the time. They're every day they're asking me oh, are you gonna play Golden Puck and stuff like that.
Oh man, you know what?
I can't stand when the
problem is
teachers say that, dude.
Well, I know what happened last year. You remember there was guys playing, and here, listen. The number one priority is your team. I think this is me anyway. Is for you guys to go as far as you can because it's going to help everybody on the team. Hopefully get drafted, right? But last year there was guys going and playing, taking their equipment out, and they were gassed, man. And I think that's why they lost to Waterloo like that. I think they were just think about it, right? Let's say you're going to train 2 times a week. You're playing with your team. What are you guys on the ice 4 times a week with your team?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And then let's say you're just you being at school all day doing homework. You're tired.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. And then all of a sudden you add that in there with some practices. I think that's where you got to be mindful of your energy the next day because. Like I said, I think even OHL Cup, we had Rubrick is a big player. Ethan Weir is a big player. I mean, we had some serious forwards out there, but they didn't play, but there was other guys that did, and it showed out there. So it sucks because you guys are just kids still, and you want to have fun. And I know it's you're in front of all the people at school now, but I think it's unfortunate that. Hockey players have to be like men at 16 years old, right?
Yeah.
I think they should make it the draft a little bit later, 17, 18, play till you're 22, so you can have a little bit of fun.
Yeah,
right?
It's a big responsibility.
It is, yeah. When we were in high school, the high school hockey was amazing. Those guys playing junior B and high school hockey. Trevor Gallant, he was a friggin' unbelievable, man. Anywhere he played. But the level of hockey was high. Now it's like mostly double, single, some triple, right? It's a mix. So what's your take on that, Mace? And I'm not offended by what anybody thinks. So you guys just speak your mind.
I don't think it's good.
No?
No, like last year I did football and like I did all the sports I could do.
Remember, dude, I had you and your dad come in, we talked, right? And I know, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Josh, but I was like, I always think about my athletes. I'm not a selfish person, but I would never tell guys what to do.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? It's going to be better for you.
Yeah.
And I think you said to me you felt better.
Yeah, I think it was the right decision because like in grade 9, like doing football and stuff, I was a little like worn down and stuff. And then I'm like this year, I feel like I have a lot more energy, like for games and practices.
Well, and football is pretty taxing.
Yeah, like practice every day after school and like in the cold.
Going from running to skating, is not very good.
The guy I'd leave from football practice, go right to hockey. And
But I'm amazed that guys can actually do it because me myself, was a pretty good athlete, always in good shape, ran track, did whatever. I couldn't do that. I'd be like, I can't even stand on my feet. Like you did it.
Yeah.
You went through a whole season and did it, right?
Yeah.
You'd also do the skating before practices on Wednesdays.
That was the worst.
So you did the football, the skating before practice, and hockey.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember watching
that. Was like our practice was we had to skate before practice, so we like know how to feel is tired. So then you have to like when you're
that was the coach's
third period when you're tired, it's not gonna affect your game.
Yeah, like that was kind of when we started playing bad. Like when we started that.
And like we were all really worn out. And then
I think he ended up like saying like, "Oh, we're not gonna do it anymore."
Yeah, but they kind of like it was really obvious the effects that had.
What about the tennis ball exercise?
Put it there. It's got like next week we had like 5 guys sick after that.
Oh, fuck, dude. But I remember Matora telling me that you guys would go to the track and he would run across, run, and it was boiling out, right?
Oh, it was. What was it like? 10 200-meter runs, then you walk back across, and then you do it again.
It was like mimicking a period. So like it would be like so like 10 runs, and then our break was probably like two laps around.
It was 800 meters, like light jog for our break or like our cool down.
See, and there goes to show, and then I tell guys like rest and recovery is so important that you can go out and be that guy to go, I'm going to go full out and I'm going to train. I'm going to run 2,000 meters of 200s at 90%, which is unethical in the track world, and go, I'm going to dominate when I go. And then all of a sudden, you're not dominating.
You will burn out.
Eventually, you will burn out.
Fair enough. Frosty was doing it.
But I know. But like, there's the odd guy, right? There's the odd
Frosty
guy.
was like he was smoking.
No, he was probably like. So we kind of like divided by periods. So like we'd all be on like the first couple of runs, and he'd already be close to being done.
Yeah, like what we do we made like a deal with like let's stick together as a group and I'll run it. But like Frosty would just go ahead because we were going too slow for him.
That's what a lot of guys do, even in the NHL when they're doing things. They try to stick together as a group.
Yeah.
And the coaches lose their mind on it. But it's like because listen, man, running and skating are different. When you in Russia, they would run 10 kilometers every day in training camp, 6 days a week. And so we would do that in the morning. We would go to the gym in the early afternoon, and then they would go home and sleep, and then come back and they would skate for 2 hours. Imagine doing that. So there's guys walking around with like knee injuries and stuff, and it's gotten it's gotten a little bit better now. They've actually taken a lot of North American information and implementing it. They're hiring guys from North America, which is kind of odd because the Russians are very proud people.
They're tired of losing.
They do not like losing. They're very they think their way is the way, but they've changed a lot of it. But I remember guys and there was no doctors to kind of help these guys out. There was doctors, but our doctors on our bench, they were drunk all the time. They were hammered. Oh my God! I remember one guy pulling his hamstring in a game, coming off, and they're telling the one coach to go into the back room to help him out.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even function, right? So I'm going back there doing the best I can do, what I know. But the other time I was telling the guys in the last story, we had one guy, Alexander Loganov, he was getting some shoulder work done. So the little electrolysis they put on your shoulders that kind of stimulates the muscles, right?
Oh, yeah.
Pulses.
this guy, the doctor, had cranked up too high, so I walk in the room and something was smelling. I go, guys, something smells. It was his flesh burning. So I walk over, I look at the frequency on the machine, and I turn it down. I'm like, pull it off. It's got a big burn mark on his shoulder.
That's terrible. Yeah.
So, I'm like going, there's got to be, you got to build up slowly. You got to take a little break in the summer. You build it up a little bit more, take a little break, and then go into camp rolling that you're in shape, and then just kind of maintain that during the year. Where, some guys have that mentality where it's just like this all the time. Yeah. And it doesn't work like that. If I had you guys go to school all day, every day, through the summer, 365 days a year, you'd be like, I don't want to go to school anymore.
No,
you'd be sick and tired.
I do that after a week, though.
Do you, right? How are your grades, guys? Good or what?
Yeah, mine are pretty good.
What do you got there, Dina? What do you
my average is way lower than last year. Like my average is like 90, like 190. And then like this year,
it's down from 90. You were higher?
No. I was like 91, but like now it's like 84.
Yeah, it's still good.
My science mark really.
But that's still good. You can get in a university with 84s and stuff, right? But
it's like a 324.
It was like the same as him. Like last year, like 91 average, and then this year it's gone a little harder, but it's probably still like up there pretty good, like 80, 88.
Yeah, so it's good. Is it hard to keep things up at that, like at school? Is it hard to keep 88s and 90s? Is it tough?
They do IB.
He does IB.
Josh does IB.
Is it hard?
Like, it's not like that much harder. I'm just like, there's lots of smart kids in my class, like way smarter than me. Like my average in my classes will be like high 90s or like low 90s.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
What about ST? Do they have IB? What's the difference, guys?
I was doing academic.
So you're doing the hard one?
Yeah, so
IB's one up of the academic.
Yeah.
Really?
One above, yeah.
So it's tough.
Like there's college, university, academic is university, and then there's IB.
Well, it sounds like you guys got the right grades, and I'm sure you guys are I know you both want to get drafted to the OHL, and there's a good chance that you guys will. But you want to keep your grades up, just in case. Let's say somebody you decide and say, "Hey, I want to go NCAA."
Yeah.
Well, if you did want to go NCAA, what would be your top 3 universities if you had the choice?
I don't really have like a.
You don't really
knowledge.
Follow it too much, right?
Yeah, I follow it a bit. Like I know like the big, like the top 10, like the top 10.
Yeah.
Like those probably are like too realistic for me.
Yeah, you have to.
Those are like really, really
serious grades, like Yale, those type of places, like Harvard, Cornell, Harvard.
Yeah. Well, we've been to like Notre Dame and.
You guys played that STX tournament in Notre Dame last year?
No, it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while. We were in this.
You've been there, right?
Yeah, like our whole team was at Notre Dame.
It's amazing. Over there.
It's really nice there. Yeah.
And then
you played a great tournament. We played well.
Oh yeah, lost all 4 games, but it was,
at least 5 goals. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
you guys lost. Mason was with Vaughn that year too, and
I went there with the Knights. We were in that tournament.
You were in Vaughn. We went down with Steve Mercer and those guys to that tournament, and we put that super team together. And you guys didn't do too well in that tournament. You remember that? And I took you down to go meet Jeff Jackson.
I'm pretty sure I was at. It was with.
No, it was with Vaughn. It was with Vaughn. Yeah, maybe it was with both. So, but you guys get out and watch Knights games?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like to try to go whenever I can.
Who's the man out there right now? Cowan, eh? Cowan's good.
Yeah.
They got a good team. They're really starting to pick it up right now. I see that. I was talking to Max McHugh's dad there. Cowan's not even on the first line.
No, second. Barkey's
there. And who are the other two?
McHugh, I think, and... I just watched it last night. I think like
Gazizov.
Yeah, Gazizov.
Oh yeah, that was the Russian guy that he was talking. Is he good or what?
Yeah, he's really good.
He's good. They got a good team, and Michael Simpson's in net and had a good run with Peterborough, I think, last year. So they're how's their defense? Are they solid on D too?
Yeah, they got some solid D like Sam and Oliver Bond.
Oh yeah, they have some really high like draft picks too for defense.
London's always
their defense
top.
Are really solid.
Yeah, London's always top in the league, and I think those guys. I mean, they're just pump out machines out of there all the time. Like always pumping out top of the line players. We had Edmondson's dad on here last week, and we were talking. He was the captain of the Ottawa 67s, so he played in the early 90s, and it was funny. He was saying that the agencies. So I was going to get to that in a second. he would have an agent. When they went to Ottawa, they would be like, "You're not using that agent anymore. You're using the guy that we want to use down here." And he says, "I kind of got lost in the shuffle." You guys getting approached by any agents? They talking to you guys a little bit about? Yeah. Have you guys made a decision on anybody that you're using yet, or are you just kind of waiting for a bit longer?
I decided.
You had to sign, right? Yeah. So I mean, what about you, Josh?
No, I haven't decided yet.
Yeah. So you have to wait. I mean, it doesn't. Mace, what's your knowledge on that? Like, how is it important? Does it matter if they're going to see at the end anyway?
If you're not a top 2 rounder, it matters. If you're and like anything past that, like it can help,
right?
But I would say your skill and that's going to show.
Yeah, like if you were like, I know Patrick Kane didn't have one until his second year in the NHL, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
They had a lawyer do his contract, but he's Patrick Kane.
Yeah, if you're that good.
The guy's scoring 150 points in the OHL, they're going to see you regardless. But I think you're right. It probably does. I think a respectable agency, someone who has some connections, can kind of just...
It'll definitely help.
Yeah. Mason had Newport Sports at the time that you were using, right? And they helped you out there for a bit, but sometimes, the only thing I don't like about it is, and I kind of wish that this would be different, is sometimes a player starts to struggle a little bit, and then all of a sudden you don't hear from that guy anymore.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you're going to take someone on to help them, just like, let's say I help my guys in my gym, you got to be there for them to the end. Because sometimes guys will go through a little bit of a spurt where they have a dry spell, but it's almost like a business, right? And it seems like a lot of times they just kind of linger around the top guys. But even the top guys, sometimes they'll lose a little bit of clout, and then they won't hear from them either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think just for agents, if I was one, I had a lot of guys, I would have appoint guys to kind of go around and make sure that guys were, getting serviced. Hey, did you watch me play? If you haven't watched me play all year, how am I going to get any tips to be better or what's going on? So they got to make sure if you do end up going one, just kind of make sure your guys are, kind of coming out. I know they can't come to every game, but at least coming out and watching to see how you progress. So Mace, what's the plan now? You guys are heading the last part of the season. What's the plan for the team now heading into the postseason?
It's not going to change much. You guys know that. Just going to...
Does anything change, when you guys actually get into the playoff situations, does the style or the system change at all, or is it kind of the same?
Stays the same. We're just
the pace picks up.
Since the start of the season, the way we've taught them is basically to prepare you guys for playoffs and OHL Cup. And I think this team will do, some really good things coming up here soon.
Yeah, so nothing really changes.
No, nothing's going to change. We're just going to keep going out, and we're going to...
So at this level, in the NHL, you guys watch it go from regular season. Coffee. You're okay. Grab water, yeah, for sure, Diener. But does it change much, the speed of the play, even in minor midget? Let's say in the pros it goes fast, and then it goes ridiculously fast in the NHL.
It changes.
Yeah.
Does it change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as much, but the levels vary, but every age group and level, it will pick up towards the end.
Yeah, just more intensity and stuff like that, right? Well, you guys are starting to learn quite a bit. I think you guys look like your systems are working for you guys, but you can't take anybody lightly. I think moving forward now, it's everybody's got to be play mistake-free hockey. Have fun, go out, play your game the way the coach is telling you to play, but sometimes guys are still trying to do too much, maybe to impress a scout or do whatever they're doing, and end up the team cost pays for it, right? Yeah. So it happens at a lot of levels, even OHL. They're trying to get noticed, but guys, keep it simple. Then I think you guys, will be successful down the road. So you guys finish up, Mace, and then you guys will. You said no buys. You guys are right into the first round.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. The four top teams go to the OHL Cup.
Does every team make the playoffs this year, or is there some that don't?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because Hamilton's out, right?
Yeah, they went to the, what is it? OHA. Yeah, OMHA.
Why did that happen?
There's two Hamilton
they merged together.
Oh, okay.
Remember we played the Steel? The Hamilton Steel?
They merged?
That was the Huskies and the Bulldogs together.
Yeah,
yeah, we went.
Tie.
Yeah, we tied that game. Yeah.
How was Honeybake? Were they good?
Not as good as last year.
No, so last year we played them in a final, lost 5-2.
What was the score in that game that you guys beat them?
2-0. It was really surprising. It didn't feel as fast as last year. It didn't feel like, because like last year they just skilled, go through us. Just fast. This year
they
just
had this
didn't feel the same.
They had this game plan, like they had like their two wingers on our blue line, and their defense were just like so good at like escaping and stuff, and they would stretch passes. We couldn't do anything.
And what about the Grizzlies? Oakland always it's Oakland, right? Junior Grizzlies. Yeah. They always have a pretty good team. Where they were good.
They were good. Yeah.
They could score.
You don't think
what do you think? They're beatable for sure.
What's always annoying about us, like their 5 goals were all just crappy in the zone. We could have gotten it out. Didn't get it out. So it's just all they really like took advantage of our mistakes.
Yeah.
It's like because we played them twice this year, lost both times. Like
what was the score in the first time?
First one was like 3-2.
So it was close.
We were winning like 2-0 or something.
It was a really easy game. And then we just we screwed ourselves over.
Yeah. That's where we were talking. Like if you just keep it simple, and get it out. When you're in trouble, like, hey, you're in trouble, just get it out. Get it down the ice. Ice it. Go and do that. I think I was watching that game, and you guys were going toe-to-toe there for quite a while. It was actually a very exciting game.
Yeah, but it's just, like, annoying because, like, their goals... Just so many mistakes.
I know.
They were all rebounds.
Yeah, they didn't deserve any of those. We had to fight for all.
I showed up. I think you guys were down like 3-1 or was it something like that?
We were down the whole game and just kept coming back.
Yeah.
We never got up on them. So.
So they won. That was the final.
Yeah,
that was the final. Yeah. What about? Was there any other guys like Little Caesars was in that tournament or no?
No. They probably would have won it.
That would have been interesting to see.
I wanted to play them.
I really want to play one of those.
Just kind of measure yourself against them, right?
Yeah.
Because you guys know anybody on any of those teams at all besides Beckham or no?
Not really.
Yeah.
That Schaefer kid, I guess, from Oakland. Where did we know him from?
Because he scored 2 against us.
Yeah, is that their sniper? Like, that's their main guy?
Yeah, he has a really nice shot, but...
Yeah. What was their goalie like?
Skilled.
Their goalie's actually... No, he got...
No, their goalie... Yeah. The goalie was not that good.
We had like 8 shots, 3 goals.
Yeah.
How did you think of the tournament? Was it good? Like a solid competition?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Would you say those teams that were in there were stronger than Alliance teams, or the same kind of caliber, or what? Honeybake would be better. I would think there's probably more. They're more of the upper echelon Alliance team.
Yeah, there's like some crappy teams, and then there was like a lot of okay teams, and then there were some really good teams.
You guys had a tough schedule.
Yeah. 2 out of the 4, probably.
Yeah. And why did you guys do that specific tournament? Why did you guys pick that tournament?
Just
kind of get
more
the guys
different eyes looking at the players.
Yeah.
More international, like USHL Division.
Was there a lot of USHL scouts there?
A lot of the US OHL teams, kind of too.
Yeah. And what about like NCAA teams? Were they there too?
Yeah.
I think we were the only Canadian team in that one.
Yep.
Yeah, and was it just your guys' age group? It was like all.
No, there's
Yeah. And was it one rink or multiple rinks?
Just one.
The guy that was running the tournament is actually married to Hulk Hogan's wife. Or sorry, Hulk Hogan's daughter.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. How'd you guys
maybe that's why
Danny knows him or something.
The prize for winning was like a belt. Maybe that's why.
It
was a WWE belt.
Daughter. Yeah.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
How was the rink? Was it any good or was it?
Behind the net, there was so much space. It was weird, but I liked the rinks. Like they were nice.
Mistake me if I'm wrong. Was the offensive zones really big and the neutral zone was small?
Yeah, it was.
It was like that.
I don't know if it was the camera, but it looked like that.
Yeah, no, it was.
It just felt like it was a big rink though.
Yeah. You run into some bad rinks some places, man. Like I know, remember you guys have played like Westwood, Chestwood, all those Toronto places. You're just going like, I don't want to go
to those rinks. It just feels like
Westwood?
a tournament. Like,
It makes you hate it. You like playing at Scotia Pond. Scotia Pond's good. That's where you guys will play OHL Cup. But who's the team right now? Like as of right now, in that Toronto loop, is it like Junior Canadian still, or is it Toronto Marlies? Who's the top?
Like Vaughn's
always
top.
They've been for like 6 weeks or something.
So they're up there, and then so goes Vaughan.
Probably like
Marlies or Barry.
Barry's good too. Did you guys play Barry this year?
No, we would have if we made the finals and Winnie Duffman, but
So they win it. They win the Duffman.
They destroyed.
Would they play in the final?
Canucks.
Oh, the Canucks.
Yeah.
Apparently it was like close with the score. Like people were saying, it was just kind of like a blowout with like they had control of the game the whole time.
You know what? Now it's coming back to me. They were actually winning that game by quite a bit going into third, and I think Canucks came back. Vonner dumped in a few. But that's when the Canucks were really rolling at that time. I think they were.
They kind of slowed down near like Christmas
They've slowed down a little bit since then, and you guys have picked up. But hey, end of the day, it doesn't matter once the playoffs start. It's all a new ball game, right? You can be really good, and then all of a sudden go in and go, nothing's happening.
Yeah,
like to be a pro or to play at the next level, it's about consistency. You have to be able to do, like you said, go out and compete, no matter if you're tired or not. You got to be a team guy, and you got to win for the team, and that's how you win. And I remember when we did the 2005, like I was with the Knights in 2005, we won the Memorial Cup. That's like the team that they call the all-century team, like the best junior team of all time. Danny was on that team, and Mark Mathot, Schremp, a lot of NHL players, and I think we won 31 games straight. That's still the record. But those guys would bleed and die for each other, and it doesn't matter, man. Like that's the way it is. And I know football, it's like that in football.
Yeah.
Like CCH has got a big, kind of almost like a cult.
Yeah.
Train here, work out here, play together. So that's why they've been successful.
Yeah.
So I think if you guys want to go deep, everybody's got to drop the everything outside, forget about everybody else, and just go, we're playing for us.
Yeah. Right?
And I think if you guys do that, you guys are going to be something special. Mm-hmm. I knew that you guys would be picking it up at this point of the year. So on my end of it, proud of you guys, man, doing a good job. And, I want to thank you guys for coming on to the show, man. We're looking forward to you guys hitting the playoffs and getting in deep.
Yeah.
Thank
you for having us.
No problem, guys. No problem. Yeah, go enjoy your Saturday now.
Yeah.
All right. Up an hour of it. Right on, guys. Okay, good.